Hence, the reason why these vehicles come in with without some of these safety features into Africa is mostly because we have a very weak regulatory regime that is in place. The government is not requiring of these requirements. We do not have standards that prescribe these safety features to be there. And as a result, vehicle exporters to Africa and developing countries, they do this for mostly profit motivation.
All those, especially to avoid skidding and all that. The question or the concern is that, are we safe as a nation now that we're the leading auto industry in the country? Are we safe that the vehicles coming in are meeting these mandatory UN safety features? Or, as you're putting it, because of weak regulations, now we are at the mercy of profit makers. So how is Isuzu bringing in vehicles which conform to these standards, or it is also at the mercy of profit? Engineer, just summarize your answer.
In summary, I can say as a country, we are safe. We are safe for two reasons. First and foremost, as local motor vehicle manufacturers and assemblers, through our umbrella body, Kenya Vehicle Manufacturers Association, we have taken the initiative to ensure that out of these 8 standards and regulations that we've talked about, we are meeting around 5 of them which are applicable to our vehicles. So we have taken initiative, we are going a step further by ensuring that we standardize this process. As Engineer Kelly mentioned, there are some African standards that we want to adopt into our national regulation, KS 1515, to ensure that these standards are entrenched so that anyone else coming into this market has to meet those regulations.
Thank you.
And also, finally, the second point in closing, the vehicles that we import for those second-hand vehicles, most of them come from Europe and the Asia regions, who are already subscribing to these safety regulations. So we are safe.
Thank you. I want to come to my boss, Engineer Mungai, to, based on that, just riding on that, Engineer Tony has highlighted a gap, which I would say is related to legislation. What would you say? Is there any legislation? Are there legislations that set minimums, irreducible minimums in terms of safety standards for motor vehicles? And as the regulator on this, what is our take? Are there legislations or standards pertaining to vehicles, and what is our take as the regulator?
Thank you, Engineer. I think I want to assure Kenyans, one, that whatever is being driven on our roads is safe as far as our manufacturers are concerned. Because what we do is that, first of all, there is what we call the type of vehicles which are going to be manufactured, and is every vehicle which is new has that certificate of type of approval that is going to be used on our roads as new. One thing is that we also have the second-hand vehicles, and you realize that those second-hand vehicles, whenever they are being used, they first of all have to meet the standards of that the European or the Asian, that is Japanese, or the US. Then we have our standard which we use to inspect vehicles, that is KS 1515, that is Code of Practice for Inspection, which all vehicles which are imported new or second-hand has to be subjected to. What there is the minimum standard. Now, these are the features which are enhanced, and it depends.
Engineer, for the assurance that the standard is there, Mother, as the maker of standards and the custodian of standards in this nation, what would you give? What would be your take on the issue of standards, especially pertaining to the road vehicles and especially on compliance, which is very critical to the safety, especially on roads. What would you say, Engineer Mother?
Thank you, Moderator. Okay. Yes, standards, the first thing we need to protect the consumer, and not just the consumer,